Hi, I'm Andrea and welcome to Productive C#. In this video, I'm going to talk about the basic and most frequently used assert methods available in NUnit when you write unit test. In this project, on the left, I have a class called math that has three methods. On the right, I have a test fixture called math test that contains various tests. Let's have a look at them and see how I've used assertions to write this test. So the first method is basically testing the is-even method, and this using two assert methods that are commonly used, is-true and is-false. It's pretty intuitive, so the first line is basically asserting that when you call is-even passing 10, the respective result is true, right? And it's gonna fail if that's not the case. And the second line, assert.isFalse, of course, is the opposite. The other important things I want to mention is that there is the possibility to pass a string, a message, that describe, if this assertion fail, basically add some additional information that you can print to the console. Let's say I'm going to print 10 should be even, okay? So let's say, for example, I change the implementation of is even to basically make it is odd, and then I run the test. What you basically see in the console is that 10 should be even. Okay. When you have multiple assertions in the same test method, as soon as an assertion fail, it basically stops the execution of the test, and it shows the message that you specified. And in addition to that, it provides the information about the expected value and the current value. So in this case, true was expected, but was false. Okay. This message here is completely optional, and I usually tend not to use it. And I only care that when something, a test basically fail, I want to have a clear message on the console. So let's put back here at 0. So, and now the test should pass if random. Okay, so this is two very common methods that are used. The other one that is extremely common is are equal and are not equal. So this test here is testing that the square method returns the correct value. So if I do the square 5 squared, you get 25. And also you check that if you do 3 squared, is not 10. So these two methods are fairly obvious what they do. So they're checking that two values are equal or not equal. Then we have other two methods that allows you to test if the result of a method is null or non-null. In this case, I'm using the parse method. So if I pass a valid number as a string, I expect that to be non-null. Obviously, I probably should also use r equals to test that the actual number is 1, 2, 3. For the purpose of the video, that's not relevant. So I'm going to show you the is not null and is null method. While if I parse a string that is actually not a number, the method here on the left, you can see, will return null in that case. So I'm using is null to check that. And finally, when you basically, if you don't find a method that is already implemented in a unit, you have assert.pass and assert.fail that allows you to basically write any sort of condition that you want and then make the test pass or not based on the condition. For example, in this case, I'm writing a test for parse that check if 1, 2, 3 parse correctly into 1, 2, 3, then I make the test pass. Otherwise, it fails, right? So if, for example, I change this to 1 to 4, this test will fail because the if condition will be false, and then assert.fail will be called. That will make the test actually fail. So these are 8 methods in the assert class that are commonly used. I've worked with unit tests for most of my careers, and I can tell you that most of the time these are the methods that are used. But of course there are a lot more methods that you can use. You can just do assert dot and see what you have. There's a lot of methods. You can actually look at the documentation in NUnit and learn about all the other methods. And this is pretty much it. So assert is really the most important class available in NUnit when you write unit test, and it's a class that allows you to assert that a certain condition is met, and if this condition is met, the test passes, otherwise not. So this is the whole purpose and key aspect of unit testing. Thank you very much for watching.